Alright guys, this is my back porch. I'm going to take you on a little tour. First of all, I harvested these today. They're not all pretty, and I already threw a couple to the chickens and a couple in my compost heap. Let's see. These were experiments that failed back in May. They actually were doing pretty good, but I stopped taking care of them. I think a pomegranate cutting and some other cutting. This is my aloe. That used to be mint. My aloe had babies and I separated them a couple years ago. I want to thank Adrian Lopez, an ex-coworker, for the aloe. He gave it to me, 6 years ago? And it needed to be split already back then. So this is borage I planted that survived. A couple pretty flowers. I just planted this basil. We'll see what happens. And this is not the kitchen kind you get in the supermarket. This is meant to be planted. I do sometimes experiment with the kitchen kind. Another borage. This, by the way, is a green stalk. I had put a bunch of strawberries in. Only one survived. This is lettuce that never got harvested. That'll go in my compost heap at some point. Oh, more borage. Okay. And then the rest are empty pockets that maybe I should fill. So let me explain a little bit about this. I wanted to do a full-blown homestead. And this year, March 5th or so, I found out that my job got granted a contract that would make me extremely busy starting April. So a lot of stuff did not get done. This is tomatoes. There are some tomatoes in there. I got a few out of them. But this is what happens when you ignore a tomato bed. So this is, let's see, what is this tree? That's a Blenheim apricot. I got it as a, did I get this one as a root ball? No, I got this one with the roots exposed back when it was dormant this spring, and I potted it. The grapes came potted like that, no transplant. And then back here I have a blackberry. I planted these blackberries, I want to say the fall of 2020. Maybe the spring of 21. Oh, here's a blackberry. I just started getting blackberries this year. I only got a handful. They were amazing. And my neighbor is going to kill me. But I very specifically planted them a few feet from the fence. I'm kidding myself. In 5 years it'll take over. But they're amazing. But you can see everything in between all the plants needs to be cleaned up and raked. My chickens. At one point, let's see, I had put 5 in here. 2 died. So I got 3 more, right? At one point, the max I've ever had in here is 7. That's way too many. I'm down to 2. I think a few of them had egg binding, so I have been looking at the calcium. I give them scraps from the kitchen. You can see some peppers in there. And then along my trail, I have wild peaches that fell on the ground. I don't have them, I found them. So I grabbed a handful and fed them some wild peaches too. But I do give them layer pellets. And then in here, ooh, somebody dug this up. That's interesting. I had planted onions that I never harvested. This is a pepper. Oh my God. I thought it died. I overwintered it as an experiment and it leafed out. All right. I just planted this oregano the other day. I planted that oregano a couple weeks ago. And here's some onions. I planted as slips. Dead lavender. Parsley. I planted this oregano. Oh, interesting. This is the oregano I planted a few days ago. This oregano I planted a few weeks ago. And then that oregano I planted a few months ago. And parsley. I think I put another pepper or 2 in here. Those never worked out. Alright. Sorry for the bad videography. This is a rose bush that I keep forgetting to water. Very pretty red flowers. I need to trim it and water it more often. So in between, I have not been able to clean up. This is a fig that I planted probably. Okay, so I was pregnant with Saskia. So I got it in January of 21. I planted it, I potted it for a long time. And I probably planted it a year and a half ago. Probably a year ago. So it's coming up nicely. And then this I planted a year or two ago. I can never remember which one is which. This one is my Lane Late. I got it as a 1-year cutting. This is my mini potted orchard. All of these I got this past spring. Several of them have died, unfortunately. But in addition to my new job, we're having neighbor issues with the neighbor's fence that we're looking at. And so all of a sudden we kind of decided to hold off planting them in the ground in case we moved. And that's a long story. But I'm going to go through this. This is some kind of avocado. This is an olive. Oh, this olive's not doing too well. This is an olive. Another avocado. This is a loquat that died. I have a little tiny bit of hope for it. What died over here? This is probably my apple, my Anna's apple. Anna's apple died. This is my all-in-one almond. This thing took forever to leaf out. I didn't think it was going to, and then it lived. Okay, I have another citrus somewhere in here I could not resist. It tried to die on me, but it's a very interesting shape. I think it's a clementine. This is my Dorset apple. I'm going to have to get either an Einsheimer or another Anna's next year because this absolutely needs to be cross-pollinated. This avocado has tried dying on me like 3 times. It came to me with insect damage. I should have complained. This, I just moved here. My Double Delight Nectarine. This is probably an apricot. Yep, my Moore Park apricot. This one, I don't know what it is. I'm going to have to... Oh, this must be my Methley plum. This is most likely my Methley plum. Okay. My lovely, grotesque yard. Oh. This is, down there, is an elderberry. And then this is a tiny little fig cutting that I got last year. Made it through the winter, potted in a 4-inch pot. And I planted it, and it's not doing good. Figs are super resilient, so maybe. I've tried planting stuff over here. Everything dies. I killed that grape by accident. It's a shame, because this was here long before we moved. I planted 3 raspberries outside my fence here. This is the only one alive. Knock on wood. Oh, more strawberries. My goodness, this is my strawberry patch. And I thought it wasn't doing great. But every time I look, there are more strawberries. So I have to weed it, and I have to fertilize it. I had put some asparagus in here, so there's a couple bunches of asparagus, if you can see them through the strawberries. So that's interesting. Oh, my poor kiwis. This is my kiwi corner. I've tried kiwis 3 times, kiwi berries. They've all died. It's too shady over here. This is my Santa Rosa plum. I planted this in the ground a little while ago, like a year ago. It's loving it. It's grown a lot. I'm going to have to trim it. This right here is this is going to be a planter. I'm probably going to move it next year. But inside the planter this year is just compost. I need to turn it and water it. Oh, okay. So obviously things are neglected, badly neglected. I tried doing veggies in this year and it didn't get watered. So I think that's chard. There's some onions that went to seed. Then I just planted these peppers Friday, like 5 days ago. I topped them today. We'll see what happens. Okay, so back there I had peas. I got a great pea harvest in the spring. And there's nothing good planted in there right now. This is all weeds. What is this? Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what that is. I'm going to see about doing a fall garden, but that's going to be hard because my new responsibilities continue until the end of October, when my responsibilities fall back a little bit. This is an empty green stalk. I don't think this is anything. Maybe it's a beet. And then that's a baby mimosa. So this is my backyard. These are derelict strawberries. I got some good harvest out of here, but I tried moving the pot today. I'm going to have to pick it up from the bottom and do something useful with the dirt. These planter pots bag don't work. Let me go show you the front. Again, forgive the videography. I should have started from one corner and gone around. So